Hey guys, it's me, Brandy, and I am here to do some swatches of a palette that I put together. I duped the vibes of the ColourPop It's a Mood palette, I think it was called. So I duped the vibes and I am going to show you the swatches and I'm going to show you the colors. Now, I didn't do like an exact dupe because honestly, a lot of the colors in the Dupe the Vibes palette are a little like boring. I mean, to me. So, as you guys already know, I have a gazillion single shadows and I'm really trying to make smarter choices when it comes to purchasing new makeup, especially now. So let's get on with this whole Dupe the Vibes. So I'm going to show you what the palette looks like, and I will put a picture in the corner of the ColourPop palette. But this is my palette for the dupes. I'll show you all of the different shifts. It's very beautiful. So I'm super excited to swatch these out for you. I have several different indie makeup companies that I'm using. I think I only used one ColourPop shadow. And that first shade, to me, it kind of, okay, so let me just kind of preface all of this with this. That palette, the neutral tones in the palette really give me, they really give me grungy vibes. But the neutral tones really just, I don't know, like they're just not, they're too like, well, they're too like single tone for me. I don't know if that makes sense. So a lot of the shades that are in this palette, I duped with my own idea of what I would have liked to have had in the palette. Also, you know, there's different pictures of the palette online. So ColourPop has a picture and a lot of the mattes look a lot lighter. And then another picture shows the mattes looking much deeper and much more grungy. So I kind of went with the more deeper, more grungy type of vibe. So with that being said, let's get started. I've got, this is Nefertari from Beshi Beauty. Beshi Beauty is one of my absolute favorite indie brands. I do know the owner. She is a friend of mine, but I like the formula because it's a really good formula. So that is Nefertari, and it's kind of like a beige silver in a way. I don't know if that really makes sense. So that's why I chose this shadow for that. That is the swatch on my finger. So it's like silver, but it's also like a beige. So then I'm going to actually swatch this color row by color row. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's what I'm going to do. So next we have Anubis. And both that first shadow, Nefertari and Anubis, and I think I have a couple other, one other one that is part of this collection, but this is the Egyptian Deities collection. And you can get these shadows on Beshi's website. Now, I do not currently have a code, but I have friends who have codes. So you could definitely use their codes, save money. Mystical Glamour, and a couple other. So let's see, that's the next one. I forgot what it was called. Anubis. So that is Anubis. Alright, and then the next one down is in the palette, in the ColourPop palette, it's kind of like a mid-toned, it's like a mid-toned brown. But I actually like the idea of having a darker brown in there because there's so many mid-tones in the palette. I just felt like if I had a little bit darker brown, it would complement everything nicely. Plus, I wanted to have like a not warm tone to like deepen up some outer corners and stuff. So for that, I went with Tasty from Looksy. I don't know if they still carry this. If they don't, I'm sorry. I do like Looksy Beauty's shadows. So this is just like a chocolate cool brown. Kind of what I was thinking of when I decided to put it in the palette. Just a cool chocolate brown. All right, so next I went with, so the next color in the palette is like a sparkly-ish cool tone brown. Now again, I say ish because I really don't know. I'm going off of a picture. The picture could be wrong. So I picked this shadow from Looksy Beauty. And I picked the shadow because it has multi-tones. And for me, multi-tone shadows are they're just much more, they just make more sense for me. So it's got some gold, some darker brown, like that cool tone brown. And then it's got a red shift at the end. So this is that one. Let's see if I can get it to do, well, if I can't do it there, maybe I can do it here. So you can see, yeah, you can see that shift right there. I have a shadow from Adept Cosmetics, and this is a deep dark maroon brown. I would say it's more maroon than brown, and it's a matte. It's ACM 20. Again, I just put these darker reddy maroons in the palette so that I would have something to do dark outer corners with. So the next shade is actually in the ColourPop palette. The next shade is actually a matte. I went with the Looksy shadow. This is just a very iridescent peachy pink kind of a shimmer eyeshadow. I don't know if you can kind of see like a little bit of a yellow shift in there too. Peachy, pinky yellow shift. And this is called Baby's Breath by Looksy. The one in the ColourPop palette is just like a cream shadow. And that to me is not special at all. So I wanted to do something else that was just like a little bit, add a little bit something extra to the palette. Okay, so the next shadow is a pink shimmer. A pink shimmer, pink metallic. I wanted to do something a little more than that and do another one of these beautiful Beshi shades. And this is one of the OG, I think it's the Cosmic shades. Maybe it's not the Cosmic shades, but either way, this is called Great Red Spot. And this is what it looks like. If you were to look back on any of my Instagram posts, you would see that I use this shade a lot. Like there's a good dent in that shade. So you can kind of see the pink. So this is still like a pink shifting shadow, but it also shifts gold, and it also shifts like, I don't know, it's beautiful. It's an undescribable shade. All right, so next is it looks like a pinky toned shade to me in the palette. So I figured let's go ahead and put a pinky toned shade. This is Sweetheart, and it is a very light pink matte. And I just wanted something that would, and it's from Looksy, by the way. I just wanted something that could blend out any edges, any harsh edges if I needed to. So that really light pink would pretty much do that. So next is a very, very sparkly red shade. I'm thinking it's probably a glitter. I'm not going to put glitter in my palette, so I grabbed Blood Moon. And this is from Terra Moons, and you can see it shifts red to like a black to like a purple. It's really beautiful. Look at this. That is just amazing. Amazingness. And this is, like I said, Blood Moon from Terra Moons. It almost doesn't even look like it's so beautiful. Like, you're not gonna see how beautiful this is in a YouTube video. Like, you can kind of see right there where it changes to a different color, but yeah, you're not gonna see that. Sorry. Sorry. I'm sorry. All right, the last shade in this row looks like a dark, it almost looks like a dark red brown, but I decided to just do a dark red. This is called Vicious. This is from Looksy. It is a matte. This is a little different tone of red. It's more of a pinky red. And you can see the Adept shadow that I picked earlier is more of like a brownie red, and that's a more pinky red. So that is the one I chose for that. Now the next row is more of like an orangey row. I decided to put, I don't know if it's an orangey row. It's like a brownie orange, a warm brown row. We'll say that. So I put some warmy brown. I don't know. We'll see. I'll show you what I put. So we got, this one is Squash, and this is from Looksy. It is a matte, and it is a orange leaning brown. Again, it's called Squash. So it's like it's a very light orange leaning brown. Figured it would be really good to blend anything out if I needed to. So the next one that I have is an oldie but goodie. I've had this one probably like 2 years, to be honest. This is a very old Terra Moons. It's called Coco Frappe, and it's almost like the cool tone version of the last shadow that I swatched. Again, it's just a little bit more of a, holy moly, of a cool tone brown. Alright, next I have in the palette. In the palette, it looks like it's either a metallic or a shimmer or a glitter. Like, I can't really tell which one. So, I decided to put in a multi-chrome. And that's okay because it is my palette and I can decide what I want to do with it. This is Venus by Terra Cosmetics. Look at that. And this is beautiful. It shifts from red to gold to green to pink. It's amazing. Like, you can... You see that? So that is the one that I chose for this. It's so pretty. So pretty, so smooth. Maybe it's not totally brown, but that's okay. So the next shadow I have in the palette is a warm toned brown. A little bit darker, but not super dark. Not as dark as the darkest one. And this is also by Terra Moons, and this is called Tootsie Roll. And this is one of my favorite dark shadows of theirs. And this is just a warm toned, like medium to dark brown. I have a Beshi Beauty shadow, and this one is from the This is Halloween collection. I swatched out for you guys here on YouTube and on Instagram. Now, the reason why I went with this shadow is the shade in this palette almost looks like it's glitter. But it's like a really dark maroony red. And this shadow, while it is dark, like with like black reflex, but it has some like red properties in it. So decided to do that. I don't know if you guys can see how it's got like almost a maroon shift in it. So that's why I chose that one. All right, so the next row is the purple row, right? It's like not totally purple, but it's not totally gray. It's kind of in between. So that's why I chose these shadows that I chose. So I have another older shadow that's fairly, I'm pretty sure it's been around for a while. I could be wrong, but this is Daydreamer. And this is like a very light lavender gray. So this is what it looks like. Again, I figured this would be really good to blend out some of those other shades. Just to really, you know. Right, now next I have one from Beshi Beauty. And this one is from the... Okay, so it looks green, right? It's not green. That's the crazy thing. It is, look at that's purple and green. Isn't that beautiful? So this is Asanu, and this is from the Egyptian Deities collection. This is from the Egyptian Deities collection. So this is that one. And it kind of has all those shifts in it. So even though it's not a fully purple shadow, I figured it would be a really good addition to the other shadows in the palette. So that's why I did that. All right, next I've got Midnight Violet, and this is from Luxie. Now, this is one of my favorite dark purple, not quite eggplant. Look at that. Not quite eggplant shades. It is a really good dark purple shade. And it really does blend out really well. Gosh, so with Looksy, you can pretty much get all of their shadows, unless it was a limited edition collection, which they did do for a couple of their Christmas collections. So you can do that and get Midnight Violet. I think it was from the, I want to say it was from like there was a flower one or a not Butterfly Kisses. There was one where it had a bunch of flower names and stuff, and that one is where I got that Pansy one from. And that one is still something that you can get every time they open up their shop again. So next from Looksy, so the one in the palette is a shimmery purple. Again, instead of a shimmery purple, I decided to go with a multi-chrome, and this is from Looksy Beauty, and this is a multi-chrome. It's purple slash blue slash maroon. It's so beautiful. So I thought these would complement everything so nicely, and I just figured, why not? Why not? Look at my finger. So pretty. So that is like the messiest swatch ever, but look how pretty it is. Look how pretty they all are. All right, so next I chose another Looksy shadow. I mean, I just so happen to have a lot of really grungy shadows from Looksy. So grungy and sparkly. So it's just, that's what my heart loved when I got all the Looksy shadows. So, and this is Complicated. And this is a dark, what would this be considered? I wouldn't say that it's a navy. I would say it's more, I don't know, not navy, but more of a like, indigo. We'll say this is more of like an indigo. So again, I figured this would basically blend out all of those other shades in the palette. So, and they will. They will be beautiful. Okay, so the next row is kind of like the blue slash teal row. And I have a bunch of beautiful shadows in this row. So the first row of this, or the first shadow of this row on the ColourPop is kind of like a warm toned gray. I don't know if that really makes much sense, but it's okay if it doesn't make sense. I'm actually going to show you what I chose, and this is ColourPop Cosmetics Loon. And the cool thing about this is actually a multi-chrome. I don't know if that makes sense, multi-chrome. It's a multi-hued matte. So it does have a slight sheen, so it's kind of more of like a satin. But this is like a green slash purple slash blue in a way. So I'm gonna do the rest of the paddle on this side. I don't know if you can see that, but it's kind of neat because it works like a matte. Like, you don't want to get the shadow wet. It wouldn't really work if you got it wet. All right, so the next shadow is from Beshi Beauty, and it is Damietta. And this is a blue with a teal shift. It is so beautiful. I need to be careful because these shadows, if you don't need that much, and literally if you just have a tiny bit, it goes a long way. So this is that one. You see that? So pretty. So, so, so pretty. So next I chose a navy blue shade from Terra Cosmetics. This is Arabian Nights. And Terra Moons is one of my, all of these brands for the most part are my favorite. I can't even say they're all my only favorites. Like, I like all of these brands. I can't say that they're only my favorites because I have so many favorites. It's crazy, right? All right. And next I have from Davina Cosmetics, and this is a blue-green. And this is I'm Just a Dandelion. Now, the shadow in the palette is a little bit more blue on some of the photos and a little bit more green on some of the photos. So that is why I chose this one, because it is a duochrome and it has blue and green. So now I have both covered, right? I got the blue on the bottom and the green on the right there. So it's whatever. It is what it is. I'm cool with it. All right, next I have from the Collective Cosmetics is Naira. And in the palette, it looks to be that that is going to be a sequin shadow, and I am not a fan of sequin shadows at all. So I did not put in a sequin shadow. I have some sequin shadows, but I'm not going to put that in here because I'm never going to use it. Does that make sense? Like, so this is the Naira from the Collective Cosmetics. And this is just a little bit different of a blue. But to be fair, in that palette, those blues are pretty darn close. One is matte with sparkles, and these I just put two of those shades together. All right, next from Looksy, I have Peacock. And in the palette, it looks to be like if it's a gold, it just looks like a really like true gold shadow. So that's why I chose this one. It's a beautiful shadow from Looksy. Look, it's very like just a true gold. And it's just very, very pretty. Next, I picked another Beshi Beauty, and this is from the This Is Halloween collection. Now, in the palette, it looks to be a glitter, and it also looks to be like a grayish green. So, I picked this gray. Again, I just wanted to put stuff that I wanted in the palette together. Like, I really do like that ColourPop palette. But the thing is I am not going to get the ColourPop palette. I was thinking about it, and I was dwelling on it, and I'm just not going to. I'm probably not going to buy a whole lot more palettes. Like, I really need to go through my current collection and just decide on some stuff. Because there's so much. Look at that. That's so pretty. All right, so next we have from I want to say this is, yeah. Okay, so this is from the Collective Cosmetics, and this is cash only. So the green in the palette is a very, very olive toned green. So it's literally like as olivey green as you can get. And I always forget that this one doesn't swatch very well. Like, at all. It's beautiful on the eyes, but like to actually pick it up is terrible. So this is cash only by Collective Cosmetics. And then next we have, so this is like almost a platinum in the palette. And so I figured, why not, let's throw some Glam Shop in there. And this is Gotyk, Gotyk. Probably not saying that correctly, and that's all right with me. And this is, see, it's like almost, it's not quite silver, and it's not gold. It's kind of like platinum in a way, like a, let's see if I can make that swatch come over a little more. See what I mean? It's kind of just like a really shiny, like almost a beige gold. Platinum. It's platinum. Now, the only ColourPop shadow in the entire palette is this one, and it is called Conjure Up. So I'm going to swatch that for you, and this is like a forest green, and it's a forest green in the palette, and I feel like we need a forest green in the palette, so I put one. I mean, they put one, I put one, we both put one. So let me see if I can kind of, this is the palette for me, and what do you think? Did I do a good job duping it? I mean, I didn't go off of I really didn't go off of any actual swatches, which, to be honest, I probably should have, but that's okay. I mean, this is my palette, and this is what I decided I wanted to do. And if I was to make that palette, this is how I would have done it. So that's all that really matters, right? So here we are with the green and the blue. And then we have purple, pink, and reddish, brownish, reddish, brownish. All right, y'all. Thank you so, so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. Thank you for sticking it out with me. I know I am super sporadic right now. I promise I will get a life update to you guys. I did do this to myself. So I got a little piercing last week. So I am just a super busy girl now. Very, very, very busy. But it doesn't make me sad that I'm busy. It just makes me sad that I'm not able to do as much on YouTube or on Instagram as I normally do. But that's okay. I will get it, and I will do it, and it'll be all fine. Thank you so much. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you very, very soon.